Over in the pages of the DC Universe, the mysterious Vigil has made their introduction in the pages of Lazarus Planet and Detective Comics. And now with DC's We Are Legends publishing initiative finally underway, introducing some new heroes into the DC Universe, it's finally time to go ahead and check out the follow-up to the Spirit World with DC Comics' Vigil. My name is Arako Braddock, and today let's go ahead and explore some of the origins behind this fascinating team of metahumans looking to destroy some of the most dangerous weapons across the DC universe. But before we dive deeper into the video, I want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. I want to go ahead and introduce the Vigil over with DC Comics solicitation text for the issue. Continued from Lazarus Planet Next Evolution number 1. Who are the Vigil? The shipping vessel Eastwind was taken captive by pirates off of the coast of Thailand, 24 hours after the crew had been taken hostage. Before communications had been established or any demands made, the crew reported an intervention by a group of unknown individuals. Amid other bizarre claims by the crew are reports of an individual who changed his appearance at will and a woman who seemingly dodged bullets. Once the pirates were taken out, no attempts were made at rescuing the crew. There have been rumors of rogue metahumans targeting weaponized illegal technology, with some hinting that they call themselves the Vigil. What were they after? Why did they intervene? Are there metas among us? Stay tuned for more. You are being watched. And I want to go ahead and read off the creative team behind the Vigil number 1. This one is written over by RamV, featuring artwork from Lalit Kumar Sharma, as well as colors from Rain Beredo, letters from Dave Sharpe, and a cover over from Sumit Kumar. And I want to go ahead and show off the gorgeous cover behind the Vigil number 1 from Sumit Kumar in the issue. I think that Kumar manages to capture the intrigue kind of inherent throughout the pages of the Vigil really nicely over in this cover for the issue. And of course, I want to extend a thank you to Adventures in Poor Taste for posting these comic book previews so quickly. Let's go ahead and dive into some of the interior artwork over from Lalit Kumar Sharma in the issue. Lalit Kumar Sharma has this curved line in the tail that really manages to sort of capture my imagination. I love some of the shapes of the waves in the kind of ocean as this kind of, ship is moving through the water. Just little elements like that, super kind of candid facial expressions, over from these characters as well, just evoke, such a strong sense of place for me over in this tale. Also, Sharma is able to capture so much detail across these pages. And I think this kind of intro sequence that we read a little bit about in the solicitation text for the issue is really, really important, because the way that RamV sort of returns to this scene later on in the issue with some of our kind of metahuman protagonists is absolutely enthralling in the tale. So the sort of bulk of the script over in the Vigil number 1, especially towards the beginning of the tale, is really devoted to kind of fleshing out the sort of intrigue and the status quo of the Vigil in relationship to the government. I think that sort of the line that Sharma captures manages to keep the intrigue going amid all of these kind of talking head scenes that first introduce the story. Of course, RamV's writing is very sort of matter-of-fact and doesn't hold readers' hands. I love the fact that RamV essentially makes it so that you have to really invest a lot of care into the narrative. But the way that these kind of concepts pay off each other, the more you get immersed into them a little bit later on in the story, sort of the better the issue becomes. So I love the fact that this issue calls for a lot of work, but also pays it off towards the end of the story. Now, I really enjoyed how we got to know the character of Rathi as well as Miss Saha in the issue. There was so much sort of intrigue between these two characters, as well as their sort of relationship with the rest of the Vigil team. Love the fact that RamV and Sharma don't feel the need to force the Vigil immediately down readers' throats as soon as the issue opens. They really try and build some intrigue behind these metahumans before kind of showing off the full status quo behind these characters. I think in a lot of these kind of like DC comics, like character debuts, oftentimes they give several aspects of the team right up front because sometimes you're a little bit afraid of fan backlash. But the way that this tale really confidently and slowly introduces kind of this group of metahumans, introduces the scenario, pays it off, shows you all of these sort of intentions behind the team is really fascinating in the story. And I love the fact that this issue is kind of so bold. It's only kind of the standard length of comics, but it really feels like it's sort of split into two halves, as the first half is sort of set on introducing the kind of status quo and relationship of the Vigil to the government, whereas the second half really sort of dives in and shows us one of our kind of first missions that readers get to see over with the characters of the Vigil. Really great to see them in action in this issue, sort of taking down a weaponized threat in the issue. And the way that RamV kind of illustrates the violence in this tale is also fascinating. It's really interesting how the Vigil kind of go into a situation, make it look sort of as clean as possible, and then leave before there's any additional commentary, and then just hope at that point that everything sort of turns out all right. One sort of intriguing aspect of comic books is showing off kind of the character power reveals. And I think characters like Dodge in the issue have a great reveal that is kind of captured with a lot of intrigue over from the curvy line from Sharma. So I really appreciate the fact that RamV's script worked together with Sharma's artwork in order to capture just kind of the best comic book interpretation possible of some of these scenes over in the issue. And finally, I love how the sort of government intrigue in the kind of first aspect of the story weaves back into the ending of the tale. The way that sort of we get a new status quo developed for Rathi, and some of the villains develop in the series is just absolutely sort of fascinating here. I love this really settled cliffhanger and just sort of how noir this book feels as a whole. I think the Vigil actually manages to carve out a really fascinating place in the DC universe. This is a title with a lot more intrigue than the Suicide Squad, even though it carries, I think, that sort of kind of darker context to it as well. So overall, I think The Vigil is just an absolutely outstanding debut over for DC Comics. There was so much sort of intrigue and kind of political ramifications established in just this one issue alone. I think the incredible work over from Lalit Kumar Sharma also made this issue really stand out among some of its contemporaries, even among a Spirit World in terms of DC's We Are Legends publishing initiative. I want to know from you, were you captivated by some of the kind of artwork and writing over in the issue? What are your thoughts on some of these characters of the Vigil? Well, thank you so much for coming to check out the video, and we'll be back soon to cover everything in DC's We Are Legends publishing initiative, as well as to kind of check in on the state of the DC universe. Thank you so much for coming to check out the video, and we'll be back really soon for more excellent comic book contents. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.